When can a child do a dangerous task?
Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time.
Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now. The answer is before you think they can. Children have this capacity to want to do things that are bigger than them. They want to see what you're doing and to copy it. And that's a natural instinct that children have, is they want to copy the adults. Our instinct is that children are incapable of doing things that we are capable of. But quite often we're wrong. And in fact, I want to challenge your thinking on that and begin to look at your children as capable. Naturally, we want to protect them from danger. But there's a large zone between what is safe and what is dangerous. And there's a zone in there in which a child grows in their capacity to accomplish adult-sized things. And it is our job as adults to begin to help them to march across that and to actually carefully observe them doing things that some other parents might keep them from doing. If we are engaged as parents in our children's growth and activity, it instills in them confidence, and it also instills in them carefulness. If you are actually training your child to handle a knife, they will become more careful with it than if they stumble across a knife and they want to try to use it. They find your pocket knife and they'll open it up. As we train children, we actually help them to become more careful. You can start with tasks that may have very low consequence. We think of play as their experiment in growing. So whenever they are learning to ride a bicycle, they're not successful the first time. They're going to fall. They're going to skin their knuckles or skin their knee. So that's just a picture of other things that we should be careful to give them experiences that are outside their capacity. So whenever you're cooking in the kitchen, can they chop things? Can they cut things with kitchen scissors? Opening the packages, opening the cans of food that are part of the recipe. At some point, they progress to actually putting food components in the mixer or actually doing some of the cooking and start with something very basic. But if you wait until they are fully competent, they're not interested. They want to do it before they are fully competent. And so laying hold of that interest, their willingness, the desire to stir this, they want to knead the dough with their hands. They want to get involved in the adult activities. It is a privilege, but it's also your responsibility to include them in what you're doing and give them the skills and the confidence to do things at their level of competence and just beyond. It is a continuous study of trying to know when you should allow your child to do something. When it's unsafe, if you're right there with them and you are watching for danger, trying to avoid injury. But at some point, they have to do things that are just outside their realm of proficiency for them to grow. And that takes a lot of judgment and a lot of bravery on the part of the parents. Fear keeps us from letting our children grow. I'm going to say that again. Fear keeps us from letting our children grow. And we must learn to contain and manage our fear and allow them to skin their knuckles, skin their knee, do things that will cause them minor harm. Minor injuries are part of growing up. We've all had them. And so if we manage the minor injuries and avoid the major injuries, we will be allowing our children to continue to grow, and we will be fostering in them an adventurous spirit where they will surprise you with their capacity, with the things they're able to do. And small children want to do what they see their parents doing. That's why we have toy kitchens and toy tools, because they want to mimic the parents. But at some point, they migrate from the toy tools and the toy kitchen to the real kitchen, the real tools. And there is some real danger in that. we have to manage that to allow them to continue to grow. That is some of the exciting part of parenting, watching our children become bigger. It's Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now.
Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.